Another day. Some more discussing points. We're going to talk about Manchester United's last pre-season game, which happened last night. Obviously, I didn't do a watch along, didn't do a match reaction early in the morning. I went straight to sleep, as it was on at 3 o'clock in the morning as we play in America. And we're going to talk about the performance. We're going to discuss what the talking points, who played well, who didn't really play well, and yeah, and all that good stuff. Um, and yeah, that's all really it is to talk about Man United news at the minute because there's not really much news to talk about. We're going to talk about the preseason games we're playing as transfer news has died down a little bit. So yeah, starting off, we're going to start off with we're going to start. We'll save the best. No, we won't save the best to last. We'll start off with the best. Amad Diallo. What a footballer that geezer is. Honestly, what a sick footballer. I was thinking about it last night, yeah. Like, with him, yeah. I know big channels and all these, they've all fucking had an agenda, or not agenda on him, but they've never really hyped him up. They pretended that he wasn't good because he wasn't getting chances because the manager weren't giving him any chances. But anyone with a brain that watched him in the Championship, because I actually did watch him in the Championship, you are Sunderland fans, they'd say he was the best player in the Championship that year. Anyone with a brain knew Amad Diallo was a sick footballer. Yeah, this guy, for a winger, he's a winger, yeah, right winger. Left-footed, but he can score both feet. He's even scored headers, I'm pretty sure, at United. He scored, I think his first goal was a header, I could be wrong. He can dribble, he can beat his man, he can score, he can create, He's got intelligence. He's got ability to run and behind. You saw yesterday how many times, especially at the start of the game, we scored an offside goal from him just getting a long ball over the top, and he done it twice. He can run in behind, long ball over the top, and he can run onto it. He's got a great first touch. He's got technical ability. He's got everything you'd want in a proper good winger and a footballer. Really, anything you'd want in a footballer. He's a proper sound footballer, a proper good attacker. We are blessed with him. He is the best winger at this football club. We should be making sure he's the starting next season at right wing. No one else, in my opinion, should even get a look in at the minute in that right wing position. That is Amad Diallo's cemented spot. You're seeing it in pre-season. We saw it glimpses last season. We saw him at Sunderland. This geezer, he's only 22. He's come out the other day and said, I would love to stay at Man United my whole career. We need to preserve this geezer. This is a crown jewel footballer we've got in our ranks. I've got him on the back of this shirt. I knew he's going to have a big season. I said it on Twitter. He's going to have a big season. He needs to get minutes. He needs to be one of the first names on a team sheet needs to be him. He is honestly an absolute delight of a footballer. I'm so glad we haven't had a footballer with that ability probably since Pogba, when Pogba was properly playing. You know what I mean? His last season, he didn't really give a shit. But when Pogba was properly playing, that was the last time we had a player of that ability that could just that you watched and you just went wow. Like I haven't watched a footballer like that at United for a few years where you're just like wow, he's just so clearly like it doesn't matter. He's got a fearless aspect about his game as well, Ahmad. It doesn't matter what left back it is. I really like he just runs at anyone. He'll just take anyone on because he's got faith in his own ability. He knows he's good. He knows how good he is. That's my problem with. We'll talk on to Sancho soon. Sancho doesn't realise how good he actually is. He doesn't want to take on his man. I don't think Sancho's got the pace or the sheer acceleration that Amad does. Amad can just blitz a player with pure pace, but then he can also beat him by skill, by body feints, by touch, by elegance, by sauce. And honestly, that geezer is a special footballer. I reckon if he plays, say he plays 30 league games a season, I reckon he gets, if you want to talk stats, 20 to 25 GA comfortably this season. In the league, he is honestly a delightful player. He's going to be one of the best right wingers in the world. People, if they haven't seen it already, they will see it. Just like Kobe Mainu, we all said it, and we're right about Amad as well. Amad is honestly delightful to watch. What a footballer, Amad, man. What a footballer. What a footballer he is. Moving on. We're going to move on to Amass quickly, the left back, who looked quite good. Again, as I said, I actually do think this geezer's. I like his energy. As a left back, you've got to have good energy. Full back, sorry, left back and right. You've got to have good energy. You've got to have energy to be able to run up and down the pitch, cross a ball. And he did get an assist, didn't he? I don't know if he got an assist actually. I don't know if that went down as an assist, but he did play a part in the Ahmad goal. there is a very decent left back in the making. If he can, obviously, we need to see his defending again. We need to see how he is again top level defensively. But as a player, I do like him. I think he's got good attributes. I think on the ball he's nice and good. And I like his energy. That's what you want. That's one thing about Luke Shaw I've always had a problem with. Is Luke Shaw's very, very talented, can do everything, but his energy just seems off. It doesn't look like sometimes he even wants to go up and down the pitch. And I get that he obviously had the leg injury and he's things like that, but that's not my problem. That's not my issue. I can only judge off what I see. And I really like fullbacks that obviously you want them with ability, you want them with talent, but you don't want fullbacks as well that can get up and down. They have good energy about them. I feel like that's an important aspect of a fullback. That's probably the only fullback, the own position that is up and down energies you want it. You know what I mean? That's the main thing you sort of look at. Defense, whether he becomes good or not, whether we polish him, whether he's defensively he's ever going to be good enough, I don't know. But I just like what I see of him in pre-season so far. And if Malacia, obviously Malacia's had apparently two knee surgeries. So we never know if Malacia's ever gonna recover from those knee surgeries, do we? We never know. So yeah, moving on. Anyways, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the midfield now. We're gonna move on to the midfield. So obviously we had McTominay, who was like midfield striker, Casemiro. Who was actually quite good again today, scored again. Yeah, and everyone wrote him off. Everyone's been writing Casemiro off. It looks like, I did say I don't think Casemiro will leave this summer. I thought they would keep Casemiro for at least another year. And it looks like Casemiro might actually not be as finished as everyone made out to be. He's still not the brightest on the ball, but he's never been the brightest on the ball. You need a dog in the midfield. You stick him next to Manu next season. And if Casemiro plays the way he played in his first season at United, we might actually have a decent double pivot there or a decent midfield duo there. And then obviously Bruno comes in the team. But we'll see how that manages. I still think we need another midfielder or two. I'd take Ugarte and Zubimendi, but that's for squad depth and that's for having the right players in place that you can put the right players in place and find the right patterns, the best system, the best pattern, the best I don't know. I fucking can't find the words. You know what I mean? Like the best. You have six midfielders. You find the best trio. Let's just say that. Yeah, and look, Casemiro looked good tonight. McTominay was just McTominay. I heard he's obviously McTominay. That is transfer news. Actually, Fulham submitted a £20 million bid for him. United want £30 million. I mean, I'd just sell him. He's a player that we've been trying to sell last summer, and we haggled over 5-10 million again. We need to just get rid, man. Get rid 20 million, and I get they want the extra 10 million to put towards Ugarte and things like that. I do understand that, but we done this last summer. We can't risk another summer, another thingy of having. I know he's not like manager probably does like him because he can just win you games because he can pop up with a goal here and there, but he's nowhere near good enough. You know what I mean? He's nowhere near performance levels. Just because he scores goals doesn't mean anything. When you watch him, you know that performance-wise, he's ghosting in games. He's giving away fouls. He's not good on the ball. Can't run with it. Can't dribble. Not press resistant. Not good at passing. He just will score an odd header or an odd tap in here and there, which can be effective at a team like Fulham. Do you know what I mean? Like not at a team like Man United. We need much more than that. I'd just sell him, McTominay, for the 20 million. If we can get 25 million, yeah, try and squeeze, but don't try and squeeze 10 extra million out of him. I don't know. We tried this last summer. Yeah, moving on to the defence was just solid. We were a bit open. It was a very open game, especially the first 20-25 minutes. There was a few goals, obviously, as we all know, but it was just very open. Yeah, so it was very open. We did concede a stupid goal. But that was expected with how open the actual game was. It was quite open towards the start of the game from both sides. They were open. We were running, and Rashford and Diallo and Sancho were all running in behind and and we were playing long balls over the top and things like that. That's just how the game was. It's not going to be a particularly spectacular game, is it? I mean, a game of football. You know what I mean? So yeah. As I say, I want to talk about Rashford. People are obviously hyping up Rashford because they do it every pre-season. Oh, this season's his season. As you'll know, well, everyone that knows this knows I'm not a biggest fan of Rashford. Never have been. Never probably will be. He didn't look bad yesterday. That assist he got if he meant that, I don't know if I've never watched it back, so I don't know if he actually meant that assist. But if he did mean that, it was a good assist. He literally cushioned the ball and Casemiro's in the box, bang. And what that was to make it 2-1, I think, or what, I don't know, maybe 3-1. I don't really know. think no, it was 3-1, wasn't it? As Ahmed scored the second goal. Um, yeah. Uh, as I say, he he looked sharp. Rashford. He looked sharp. Um, he was running at players. He was trying to make things happen, but he's just, for me, he's just not got the IQ levels as he to make you go wow. Like, he just does dumb things. Like, he'll run one side and he'll just quickly cut back to the other, and then you're like, the defenders, like, you know what I mean? You don't know the thing with Rashford now. He's not, the IQ thing is one thing in football that he lacks. He's got ability to blitz a player, got ability to beat a player, got ability to score goals, but his IQ is something that he definitely does lack. And I thought he did lack that. But I'm not on this Rashford. I'm not on a Rashford hate fest. Not in a bad mood to be on a Rashford hate fest. I don't think he's. I don't think he played bad, so I'm not going to get onto him. Whether he does have a good season or not, I don't know. We will see. He probably is putting in a lot of hard work behind the scenes, as we saw before. Which I'm actually glad if he is doing, because we haven't seen much of it, and I'm glad for that, because I don't like the PR. I like people to just get their head down. Don't try and show people they're working hard, and just work hard. That's what you have to do. And I think if Rashford's working really hard behind the scenes and he's not doing PR tweets and PR posts on Instagram and all that, and he's just working hard, that's what we want. We want players that will focus on football, man. No need for PR, and that's what I wanted from Rashford. That's my main problem with him, is his PR. Not really his footballing ability. I don't think he's an amazing footballer, but his footballing ability, it comes second at the minute when he went with the PR. That's what I would say my problem with him. But yeah, I don't think he played bad. Hopefully, he did score. He scored the penalty, didn't he? It was a great penalty, to be fair. It was actually a very good penalty. I think he's changed his technique, I want to say. I could be wrong. He usually smacks it. Or, yeah, no, he did do that penalty technique in the final, didn't he? And he hit the post. It's a very good penalty technique, and it was a very good penalty from him. Yeah. Sancho didn't look great. Didn't look awful, but just didn't look great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what we start with Sancho. I mean, it was a range against Rangers. He looked okay. He looked better against Rangers. I thought he was quite poor against Betis. Not poor, but I don't think he was amazing. But we've seen Jadon Sancho have the last two pre-seasons look very good, and then not have good seasons. So maybe he doesn't have a good pre-season, and he ends up having a good season. We don't know. We'll see, won't we? We'll see with Sanch. Yeah, didn't have a great game, but well, I don't know. I don't mind. About that. I'm not too overly fussed about that. I mean, if he doesn't start performing with United, we've got other players that play in them positions that can deliver. Ahmad being one. But I hope he does. I hope when the season comes, he's more and more prepared. Hopefully, I'd think he probably will start in the Community Shield now. I think Højlund is injured. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think him in a false nine would be a good role for him, because I feel like when Sancho doesn't have the burden of being the guy they want to score goals, false nine isn't a guy that you want false nine to chip him with goals, but you want him to think. I feel like Sancho doesn't believe in himself anymore enough to be a goal scorer. He doesn't have that that dog in him. You know what I mean? He wants to be a nice, tidy facilitator, and that's all cool. So I think if we've got injuries up top and things, I'd love to see him in the false nine role. Maybe hopefully against City. I know we've got Liverpool next in the preseason. Then we move on to City, but yeah, that's personally what I would like to see Sancho in the false nine and see how it's like in competitive games. Because when he's a facilitator and he's providing, he's got delicate touches and he's playing little intricate passes with running, but runs in behind as well. Sancho loves players that runs in behind, like Ahmed and Rashford could both run in behind, and yeah, I love that personally. Yeah, that's it really. That's all we've got to discuss. Man United were absolutely saucing out in that first half. Second half died down a bit, but it was brilliant football, and it's just nice to see. It's refreshing to see us play some half decent football. I'm still biting my tongue though. We definitely need to sign at least 2 more players before the Premier League season starts. Hopefully, we do, and we need to probably sign three or 4 before the window shuts. And the club definitely do need to get them done. And I'm still obviously, as I say, biting my tongue of whether we're going to do this in competitive games. I'd like to see us do it when we actually play against good teams in meaningful games. That's what I would like to see. But it's still refreshing to see us play quite well. I thought we played well, especially in that first half. Moved the ball well. And some of my ballers, Amad Diallo being one of them, absolutely saucing out. Still got Mainu to come back. Still got Bruno to come back. Leah Sandro to come back. Euro obviously is injured. Um, Luke Shaw as well. So we've still got players of our own better players to come back into this team, ready for the season. So I imagine we'll improve even more. So yeah, it's just exciting, man. It's just exciting at the minute for United, but you also gotta keep calm and thinking like and reevaluate the situations and realise that we do need to go out in the transfer window and buy a few more players in certain positions. I mean, as I say, I really want Diallo. We need another centre back. We can't have Harry Maguire as our third choice centre back. We need him as our fourth choice centre back, and things like that. Yeah, but that's discussions for another day. There's not been much transfer news moving at the minute at United, but we could, we got 2 deals done in 4 or 5 days last time. We could go and do it again. We don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Please do subscribe, because I am this close to 100. So do you know what I mean? If you could, be nice. Do you know what I mean? Thank you. Cheers.